Hello, this is Joe83, and this is a brand new series on my channel, and we are here with some highlights for LCR2, which is the F2 league that run by LCR, which I'm taking part in this season, which is going to be very fun. And we're here in Bahrain in the F2 cars, something very different. It's a bit of league racing, and the rules of this league, there's one-shot qualifying, and then a 50% feature race, and then a 25% sprint race. So about 16 laps. Well, for Bahrain, it's 16 laps and 8 laps at the two races. So yeah, try to do as well as possible. I raced in this last season and was sort of lower midfield, it's like usually on the edge of the points, with hopefully good sprint races to follow that. But this season, I hope to do it a little bit better and do. That's got to start with some good one-shot qualifying performance. And here we are starting the lap. It's very intense, obviously. I don't take this league too seriously, but it's nice to do well. So I didn't want to mess it up straight away in qualifying. So coming down towards turn 1, braking just after 150-meter board and down it into first gear. These cars are very strange to drive. You want to rev the gears out loads for the traction, especially this section of the track, which is just so hard to get right. But third gear and up through the gears now, up into 6th by the end of this straight, down towards turn 4. DRS wide open and braking just before the 100-meter board, down to 3rd once again. Getting the car nice and turned in there. And the most important thing really is to try and keep it nice and clean and don't invalidate. It's the most important thing, because I think there's about 15 people in this league, in this race at least. And yeah, if you qualify with a competitive time, I should be near enough top 6, top 7. And obviously, if you invalidate, you're going to be starting last. So that's not what you want to do. But so going down towards this next corner, very difficult double left for turn 10 and braking quite late there, nicely down into 2nd gear, hopping over that curve nicely and getting the car accelerated again up onto DRS straight and down towards turn 11. And this section of the track was very difficult to get right as well in the F2 cars with such little downforce compared to the F1. It's just so strange to drive after doing so many laps in the F1 cars to transition into these cars. It's very difficult. I'm a nice Carlin, I didn't mention. My teammate is the Humperdinck, so he's quite good. We'll be hoping to do as well as possible. You might know Connor, the guy who was in AOR last season, who was also in my videos. He's ridiculously good in these cars, so I don't think wins are going to be possible when he's here, but he's not actually here for this race, so you never know what might happen. But around the final corner now, 3rd gear and hitting the inside curve nicely on the exit, nice and clean, and down towards the line. It's going to be a decent lap overall. I was quite happy with it. And it's going to be a 39.5. It's not pole, that goes to Sims with a 38.8. My PB was a 39.1, so I'm only 4/10 off that, which is pretty decent actually, and that's put me P4, which I was very happy with. I've never got a podium in a feature race, so that's very much possible, it looks like, as my teammate, the Humperdinck, in 2nd place. As I said, Connor wasn't here, who normally dominates this league, so yeah, all to play for really. The Sims did get pole by 3.5 which is very impressive. Matt, you might know, down in 13th, absolute fraud with the quali ban. So yeah, onto the grid now. I'm going to start on the soft tyres. You can start wherever you want, because F2 has some different rules. So I like to start on soft tyres, and we're going to get onto the 5 red lights now for the F2 Bahrain Grand Prix in LCR, starting from 4th on the grid. And the lights are quite a long hold, but are away at last, and it looks like a fairly decent start compared to Mulder alongside me, and Humperdinck just ahead got a little bit of a wheel spin. He's on medium, so he's obviously going to get a worse start than me. But we're ahead of Mulder now into turn 1. Can we maybe challenge my teammate? But no, it looks like Kez is going to try up the inside as well, so being a bit swamped here. Round outside goes Mulder as well. I'm also getting a warning for stopping on track, apparently. So I don't know what's going on there, but I'm going to get disqualified already, apparently. That was obviously just a glitch. I wasn't actually disqualified. I was carrying on driving, but yeah, for some reason the game decided that I didn't deserve to do more than 3 corners, so I'm apparently out the race already. But Mulder ran outside of him now, and we're back up into 4th as the safety car is deployed. I think I was ahead there when it was deployed, so I kept the position anyway. So yeah, lap 1, safety car is out already. My first ever experience of having a safety car online. You can't pit on the first lap, because in F2 there's a rule where you've got to do 3 laps on the set of softs throughout the feature race. So I elected to go 3 laps into the race and then pit, because the safety car was staying out, so we can still get a free pit stop. So yeah, I was going to jump into pits. Ked's coming in as well, almost weaving on me there, and he actually sped into pits. I very nearly sped into pits as well, but taking advantage of the safety car, we're going to pit onto mediums straight away, and hopefully this will pay off. I don't quite know how it's going to work, because I wasn't entirely confident about the rule, because maybe it was like you have to do 3 racing laps, or like everyone would just do this, but apparently not. And yeah, I decided to pit onto mediums. We're going to catch the queue up once again, exiting the pit lane. It's obviously longer stops, because you only have about 4 mechanics, I think, allowed to do the wheels. So yeah, longer stops in F2, so that's going to make the benefit even more really, once because we got the free pit stop. And now 1 later we did catch the queue, luckily, and now we're back in 12th place, but with going to the end of the race, and Kez has a 5-second penalty for speeding the pit, so we're basically in a net lead, I think, at least when everyone pits. And now into the restart. It's going very slowly, going to try and take advantage, not getting damage hopefully, and now down into the start finish line, and Kez is just just about ahead of me. I don't really want to go into him because he does have more pace than me usually, so I don't think it'd be very helpful to just battle with him loads. But now down towards turn 1, you can see Jack on the left there is disconnected, so we've got to try and get through his car as soon as possible. Mulder's looking up the inside as well, so it's a very difficult restart here. We just about held off Mulder and through the exit of turn 3. Got a decent start there, but Matt and Joe are going extremely close up ahead, with Ben looking for any advantage as well. The two Ardens going wheel to wheel, and Kez trying to take advantage as well. But this little scrap is going so slowly, almost in the back of Kez there, but not quite. And Mulder's also in the back of me trying to get through as well. So, and there's a car on the right there. I don't know who that was, but loads of pretty much chaos, which is sort of why I love league racing. There's so much you're on edge all the time, and you see Ben has made the move on Joe as well. Kez is going to absolutely send one down the inside of everyone. I'm getting oversteer on braking, but not quite making a mistake there. Trying to look down the inside of Joe, but he's got a good exit there in his Arden in the lovely pink car, and now down towards the double left, maybe trying to think of an advantage. I know Joe's pretty bad in these cars, so we're going to try and go down the inside, thinking about it, but he didn't really leave much space there, which is probably fair enough because it was pretty opportunistic. But meanwhile, I think Eventham and Notial, I think, made a mistake at turn 10, so they're now out of the question as well. Mulder's still right behind me though. I mean, Joe is braking so early, almost running to the back of him again, getting more oversteer on the apex, and Mulder's going to try and take advantage on the other mediums on the same strategy as me, so it's crucial we can keep him behind. But we've got to try and take advantage of Joe, who's going so slowly. You can see Kez is already getting away on the same strategy as me. Joe's gone wide there through 12, and I'll try and take advantage down towards this the back straight. But Mulder's going up the inside of me, so it's going to be very difficult to hold him off because he's already got the track position on the inside there. So try and brake as late as possible, not running into the back of Joe. Mulder's broken way too late. He's going to go wide there, surely into the side of Joe, and he's pushed him off the track. And that's allowed me to get through, and now I've got a good exit compared to Mulder as well. And maybe thinking about a move down towards the first corner. And we're in the 6th stream, no DRS yet. The safety car's only just come in. But to the outside line for turn 1 now, 6th gear, the top gear in these cars, and I'm braking very late and trying to take the outside line down towards first gear. Mulder's still there, so got leaving space on the inside, trying to get a good exit, side by side, wheel to wheel, and just about forcing over those curbs, and that's giving me a good exit and just about ahead of Mulder. But we've lost 2.3 seconds to Kez, so we've got to really try and close that up. And straight away, actually a few laps, I think that's later, the same lap actually, lap 6 still, Kez going to move on Jack Tudor, but there's also going to be another safety car for Notial, who crashed into a wall with no one near him, which is a bit strange. But yeah, either way, a safety car is out again, so this is going to obviously close everyone up again. I decided not to pit. A lot of people did pit, obviously, who didn't pit the first time, but it's going to put me into what is currently 3rd place, and Apex and Jack Tudor ahead, who haven't pit yet, but the lap later they are going to pit. I don't know why they wouldn't the first time round, but they are doing now, so it's elevated me into the lead of the race, on going to the end as well. So I am leading, but Sims obviously is going to be very hard to keep behind because he's so quick in these cars. But under the safety car, I've put it in a wall, so yeah, that's fantastic, and I've got damage. I was just trying to warm my tyres. Absolute rookie error, really, and to say I've been league racing for so long is absolute, like, it's so embarrassing, really. But yeah, either way, I've now got damage, and that means that it's going to be even more of a struggle to keep Sims behind. But my teammate Humperdinck put onto softs. He started on the mediums, obviously, so he's going to have to go very far on the soft tyres to try and make the end of the race. But a safety car is now coming in as well, which is absolutely fantastic, because I was probably going to pit for repairs if it was staying out an extra lap, but it didn't. So I've now got to go to the end with half a wing, because of my own stupidity, just driving into a wall under the safety car for no reason at all. And yeah, the restarts are very strange because my throttle just kept cutting out for weird reasons. I don't really know why, but yeah, either way, trying to keep it nice and clean. I was pretty much thinking I'm not going to win this race now, especially with damage and with Humperdinck on the softs, and Sims is faster than me anyway. So I was trying to play the team game, really. My teammate Humperdinck in the other car lane, I wanted to really help him out, so getting a nice exit off the final corner now and absolutely bolting, and Luke's already got through on Sims down towards yeah, I'm going to give him slipstream down towards turn 1. It's going to be very close, actually. I think Sims has got the slight advantage so far, but Luke's going to send one into turn 1. I'm just trying to keep it nice and clean, braking as late as I think I can, but Luke's going down the inside and takes that 2nd place in the other car lane. So it's currently a car lane 1-2, loads of exit oversteer there, but down towards the turn 4, I'm just going to lift off and let my teammate take the leads on softs, so he's really got to bolt away. And yeah, hopefully he can win this race for the team, but I don't really have a chance with this damage. He was going to get me anyway if I tried fighting, and if I fought, then it would have been, yeah, way more harm to our races than it's worth, really. And now I've got to try and train up the rest of the field and let Luke bolt into the distance and take the win, hopefully. But a few laps later, lap 11, and Sims in the DRS, and it actually took him quite a while to have a chance to overtake it. Luke sets faster lap, only 2 tenths off in that lap, so but then Kez goes 2 tenths faster than me as well. So Sims now down towards turn 1, going to switch the outside line. It's going to be very close, breaking nice and late. He's not really in a position to challenge unless he can have a switchback move. And now on the exit, try and keep it nice and clean. And we've done that very well there. And Kez actually moves up to 4th at the same time on softs as well, so he's going to want to keep an eye on. But Sims going around the outside, down towards turn 4 now. I've gone defensive nice and early and try and force him wide and taking the inside line, hitting the apex nicely. 3rd gear, try and force him wide, and that's exactly what we've done. And retain that 2nd place. And with only 4 laps left, maybe there could be a chance of holding him off. But unfortunately, yeah, it might not happen as well, especially with running wide over the curves like that. And loads of oversteer, and I'm going to get a penalty. So yeah, this race has now gone from bad to worse. As you can see on the minimap, there's 3 cars behind me, and it is quite hard to get a penalty around Bahrain. So unfortunately, I'm probably going to drop a few places with that. Complete my own mistake. Obviously, yeah, you shouldn't be corner cutting that much around Bahrain, especially when 2 of my warnings are actually under the safety car trying to catch the queue up. So yeah, a load of mistakes really from me in this feature race, but I'm still in a good position, so got to try and hold off Sims for as long as possible to help my teammate, as those softs are going to start dying very quickly. But Sims going up the inside this time, and unfortunately I can't really defend against him as he's already there, and now breaking nice and late into turn 1. He's going to go a little bit deep, so maybe a switch up move is on. And we're going to have a nicer line than him for the exit at turn 2 and turn 3 now, and we're almost hitting this back end there, and DRS open for me, going to swing it into the slipstream and swing back out of it to the left hand side of the track, breaking nice and late, maybe try and think one all the way around the outside. It's going to be possible with half a wing as well, and Sims just about going to hold that as I did to him earlier in the race, and he's up into 2nd place, and when he's not got the dirt, yeah, he's probably going to bolt into the distance. And actually that was the end of the race, the end of the feature race at least, and Sims managed to get my teammate Luke, unfortunately. But coming over the line, we're currently in 3rd. I think it's going to be 4th though, with Mulder behind me. Matt and Kez actually dropped back loads on those softs, but Humperdinck takes the win because of a penalty for Sims, and Mulder jumps me as well. So very annoyingly, if I didn't get a penalty, I would have actually been 2nd place that race, which is pretty frustrating, as I've never got a feature podium, and I would have loved to get one. But you can see Matt actually did a good recovery up to 5th. Ben, Apex, and Kez gets reverse grid pole in 8th place, with Jack Tudor and Frober Jobo taking the final 2 points positions. And yeah, onto the sprint race. It's a reverse grid, so I should have started 5th, but Apex actually quit the session because he has something to do. So I'm actually 4th on the grid, which is nice. And yeah, Kez on pole, obviously, is going to be very hard to beat because he's got a good pace. But Ben and Matt, we should be pretty similar to. And now going on to the 5 red lights for the sprint race in Bahrain. And they're coming on now. I've got Mulder and Sims that are going to be difficult to keep behind as well. But 5 red lights now for the Bahrain Grand Prix sprint. And it's a long hold again, but we're away. And Ben isn't away at all. He's going to completely hamper my start. I don't know what happened to him, but I think he had a clutch issue, or just he forgot what button it was or something. But Mulder is straight up into 2nd place. I'm up to 4th, but I got such a bad launch, and we're going to break early as well, unfortunately. And Sims goes down the outside, and we're down into what is currently 5th, but we've got someone alongside as well. That's X-Ray Ventham, who's going to force me over those curves. Pretty aggressive stuff. I don't think it was that unfair, but I would have liked a bit of space at least. But now down towards the next corner, Riley Boys, who joined only for the sprint, who started last place, is now going up the inside into turn 4, and he's straight past me. He's got very good pace, to be fair to him, but starting last when I was starting 4th, I probably shouldn't be losing the place 4 corners in. So yeah, Riley doing very well to get up to 6th already, and unfortunately it's going to be very hard to keep him at bay, although he's gone wide there, so we're going to try around the outside of turn 8. Is this going to be possible? He's got the inside line, so he's going to take that and force me out over this curve. It's probably fair enough there. The move wasn't really on, and now I'm down to 7th place. Yeah, on first lap it's been pretty disastrous, especially on breaking that early, and Jack 2 is going to send one as well, and also a pretty aggressive move there. I was a bit annoyed at the time, but looking back, that was just a very good move for him, to be fair. So I'm down to 8th, and my teammate Luke is right behind me. He's at fast start as well. But now Riley and Jack Tudor going wheel to wheel down towards the next corner, and we saw this on lap 1 of the feature. And what's going with Mulder and Joe. So what's going to happen here? Riley and Jack Tudor going very close. He's forcing off the track a little bit there, which I managed to pick up the pieces, as we did earlier with Joe as well. So Kez is still in the lead, but I'm now got to do a bit of a recovery drive because I think my pace is definitely better than 7th. Meanwhile, Ventham's going defensive for absolutely no reason. I'm going to just stay in the slipstream of Riley and maybe think about something into turn 1, but not quite close enough to try and keep it nice and clean. And I know Ventham is pretty slow compared to myself and Riley, so if I could just sort of use Riley to drag me up to the top 4, that would be pretty helpful. And yeah, without such a bad start, I would definitely be in that top pack, but unfortunately, sort of my fault. I did break pretty early into 1, but also Ben sort of cost me a bit of a time off the line by not going himself. So Riley now doing a lovely move running outside of X-Ray Ventham, and makes that move into 5th. I've got to try and overtake him as soon as possible to stay with Riley, because if I lose the DRS, I'm not going to be able to catch him really. But we've got a slipstream on Ventham down towards the final corner, and kind of make a move happen. We're going to fake one to the inside, but I don't think I was close enough there. And down to 3rd gear, try and get a nice exit. He's gone very wide there. I can't really get on the power because he's in the way, but hopefully down towards turn 1 we could have a chance. He's got a good exit though, and I'm going to swing back into the slipstream temporarily to actually have a chance. I was trying to say what Riley slipstream, but I think it's a bit too far ahead. And now down towards turn 1, going to absolutely send one, as I think I've got the pace over him and more confidence on the brakes. So down to first gear, and he's have to back out on that one. So it's actually still side by side, but this time I'm a little bit further ahead than I was on that one, and he's got to leave me a space. Meanwhile, Cares absolutely bottled it and spun, so I'm up into 5th place. So yeah, as long as I can stay with Riley now, we should have a chance of catching the top 3, which would be very helpful. I don't know what happened to Cares, but I think it's just a driver error, and he's now out of the points in the sprint. Only top 8 get points in the sprint race. So yeah, luckily I managed to stay with Riley, got the DRS still, and that might give me a chance to overtake down towards turn 1. We'll have to wait and see, but if anything, I want to just sort of like work together and drag ourselves towards the podium, because I think that's definitely a possibility with both of our paces looking pretty good. But I'm going to go for one down the inside of turn 1, and we've got definitely the massive overspeed and braking nice and late, and he hasn't really got a chance down towards turn 1 unless I go wide. And we've got the car slow down nicely though, but he's going to get a good exit, especially with oversteer like that, and he's going to go back down the inside of turn 2. Very close racing. I was surprised that me and him managed to go that close without crashing into each other. But that gives him the DRS down towards turn 4, and unfortunately got a back out in stay in 5th place currently, but only with 2 laps remaining now. It's going to be a tall order to catch top 3, but we can give it a go and see what happens. If they can battle maybe, then it might have a chance, but unfortunately lap 8 now, and they did start battling quite hard, but Mulder and Riley, it's just ahead of the road. We did catch them up, but not with enough time left to actually do anything about it. So yeah, coming across the line for 5th place, which I think is 6 points in the sprint, which I'm fairly happy with. Obviously, overall, it's a pretty solid weekend. I would have hoped for better in the feature, but given all the mistakes I made, 4th is still a good feature result. And then in the sprint, 5th place, I can happily take plenty of points. The points on the right are actually wrong. It's 15 points for a win, and then I think it goes down as you would expect, and I think I get 6 for finishing 5th. So yeah, fairly happy with that overall. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any likes, subscribe if you want to see more of the LCR2. I'll be bringing highlights of every race this season, hopefully. This has been J83, and I will see you next time.